Hi, this is Iannielli of T-Girl Angel. How are you guys doing? I hope you're doing well. I can't believe now that we're into the middle of October. Um, Starting to get cold now here in New York, but that's to be expected. I was in the city today, had a pretty good day. Um, Things are going well for me, so I must say that I'm happy about working in my recording and writing. Um, I'm really starting to put a lot of effort into my solo act, T-Girl Angel. I take it very seriously, and I want to do the best I can. Um, I'm very dedicated to what I do, and I'm very keen on doing the best that I can. Um, it takes time. I want to start to introduce more risk into my work, take more bolder steps into what I do, um, and I eventually want to start to learn how to perform in more vocal arrangements as to singing. Right now I do mostly spoken word and some electronic music. I also am going to invest in a organ. Um, I have to start planning how to finance it, but I want to really get involved in creating more musical arrangements. Though my forte is poetry and spoken word, that's really where I feel most comfortable. And to be honest with you, I feel I can pour my heart and soul into it. And if I'm good at something, I want to stay focused in that area. I don't want to spread myself too much where I can't uh, perform at the best that I wish to. So I'm focusing on my strengths, obviously. And for me personally, I believe that my strengths are in spoken word art. And I've already done some albums, which I'm proud of. My very first album was launched on iTunes and Apple Store and Google Play and other digital markets, called Ideas. My second album is called Avant Garde, and they're also distributed on those music sites. And I also have my third album was Random Thoughts, which is my most ambitious project with 101 spoken word tracks. My fourth piece was unique because it's all electronic music, which I created, which I'm proud of, and that's called Eclectic. And my fifth piece is another ambitious project that I did on spoken word, obviously, which is my forte, and that's called A New Day. And there are some technical issues as far as that album goes, so that's not yet successfully distributed with Apple, but it is on Google Play and it works fine. And putting a lot of time into my work, and I'm also on other music websites. I'm on Reverb Nation, I'm on Number One Music, and I'm also on my own personal website, which I just created, called www.tgirlangel.com, and I have all my links posted there. I have photos, I have videos, I have a blog, I have some of my poetry, and pretty much everything about my band. So I'm proud of that. And eventually I would love to have the opportunity of performing live. But that comes in time. I'm not going to jump the horse on this one. I have to do it in a strategic way. We all know as artists that we have to work at what we do and refine it and feel comfortable about what we do. And I'm doing what I feel is the best for me. And as a spoken word artist, which I feel is a unique form of uh, musical or artistic expression, it's not like your normal singing. But for me personally, I think it's unique, so it has advantages, being that spoken word, not many people are considered spoken word artists. So I feel that since I'm in that area and that's my specialty, that I may as well continue with that, because I feel that's my real niche, my common ground. That's where I feel most comfortable. Um, and as an artist, we all want to stay within our element. It's very important. Um, and I also feel like everything is going pretty well for me right now. I'm transitioning. I've been transitioning now for 3 years. I'm living full time as a woman. I'm extremely happy about that. Um, I've never had attention given to me, but as a female, it's very odd. It's very odd for me. I can't grasp it because I've never had attention given to me before. But now, as I'm blossoming, I guess you could say, I'm gaining some attention from people, and I'm not used to that. But I must say that it feels good. But I'm taken, folks. I am married and I'm committed to my wife. We may not have the best of relationships, but I'm in it for the long haul. Excuse me, I have allergies or something and my nose is itchy. I hate that when your nose is itchy and runny at the same time. That's awful feeling. But I have to focus on what's important to me. And right now, the most important things to me, obviously, are my son, my wife, my family, and doing things that make me happy. And I'm very happy now as an artist, spoken word, like I said, working as T-Girl Angel. I've never had such a wonderful experience working for my own interests. When I worked as an accountant and an engineer, it wasn't the same satisfaction. I've gained so much more, oh God, I can't take this allergy. I've gained so much more respect for myself now, more so than ever. And I find that when you write, it takes a special skill to write, and you have to really dig deep. And that's a lot of my writing. It reflects me. It reflects who I am. It reflects my heart, my soul, what's going on up here in my mind. I have some writings that are very emotional. I have some writings that are very inspiring. I have some writings that are fluff, just like light-hearted. And I have some writings that are warped, like horror. I love horror. I love to entice people. I like to shake them up and scare them or surprise them. I love the element of surprise. I love the shock factor also because people expect me to be a certain way, and sometimes I like to bend the, the rules, and I like to shock. I think it's good to have a part of you just be different, and I am different, quite obviously. I was born a boy, and I'm living as a woman. You can't get more different than that. But I'm living what I feel is the right thing for me. I'm transgender, so I feel that this is the right thing for me. I've always felt that way. So I'm only doing what I know is the right thing. I know it's right in my heart. And I write about being transgender. I write about autism. My son is autistic. I write about suicide prevention, suicide awareness. I write about a lot of things. And I'm just happy that I have this interest in writing. It's very important to dig deep sometimes and address all that resides within you and bring it out, and that's an important thing to do. And I find that when I do that, I can go to a better place, and self-expression is a beautiful thing. And it's a shame that not many people feel comfortable in expressing themselves. I go to support group meetings and I meet people who are too shy to open up. And I know the feeling because I used to be that way. I used to be extremely shy. But something happened in my transgender struggles. And once I started my transition 3 years ago, I started to open up. And I started to feel better about myself and my life. And I owe it all to that transition. I owe it to my therapist. I owe it to my doctors. They helped me come out of myself. And as a beautiful young woman now that I feel, I'm so much happier. I could never feel happy about myself other than the fact that I became a father and I married to a beautiful wife. But as a guy, I just never felt comfortable with myself. I was never really that good looking. I never felt that way. I never felt that I was attractive. And I never felt at peace with myself. But as a woman, I feel very at peace with myself. And I'm very comfortable. So I just think it's a wonderful thing to feel good about yourself. And transgender people have struggles. It's not an easy situation to be in. I'll tell you that up front. But I think when you do transition, once you've come to the reality of what your life is, I think it's the best thing to do for most of us who are within that struggle of gender identity. People who struggle with their gender will find that life can be somewhat difficult, but if you stay true to who you are and you believe in your heart that transitioning is right for you, then I think that's probably the best thing for you to do. And I've come to realize that myself, and I'm so much happier now. And I'm very lucky that I still have my son, in my life. I love you guys. I'll talk again soon.